So I've journaled just about every day for the past year now, and today I want to talk about how this simple analog task has helped improve my life and added a lot of benefits. Here are my thoughts. If you don't know me, I'm Spencer, and I like to talk about simple living, frugality, and ways to cut down on your use of technology. Let's get into it. Okay, so here are a few of the journals that I've been using in the last year, and I'm on to this green one now, but I've been basically journaling every day for the last year. Now, journaling is something that I already kind of had under my belt at this point. I'd been journaling a couple times a month since 2018, but last year I read the book The Artist's Way. It's a book about getting in touch with your inner artist, your creative self, and trying to find ways to express that every day. Part of that is doing what's called the morning pages, which is every day just writing in a journal 3 pages. It doesn't really matter what's on it, you just got to get your thoughts from that morning out on the page. That gets your worries, your concerns, your anxieties, whatever it is, out on the page, out of your head, and you can go and live the day, I guess, a little bit more in peace and a little bit more with focus. So I did that for as long as the program went on. But then after the fact, I decided to continue on with journaling daily because I was getting a lot of benefits from it. So the first thing that I really liked about journaling every day is that it forced you to think about your goals and then look at your daily experiences and see if those things truly aligned. The fact of the matter is, if you say that you want to have six-pack abs or run a marathon or something like this, and then your whole week of journal entries talk about eating pizzas and laying around watching television, you're going to realize, wow, I'm kind of living out of step to the things that I value and the things that I want to be doing. It doesn't have to be a physical goal as well. It can also be, I'm trying to get out of this job, or I'm trying to save some money, or whatever it is. And you're not really doing these things day to day when you actually look back on how your week's gone by. By journaling and reflecting on the things that I've done in the last week or month or whatever it is, when I choose to look back on these things, it gives me a good sense as to whether I'm living in alignment with my goals. The second thing that I found really beneficial from writing in my journal every day is that it allows me to vent my frustrations, but then also find resolutions to those things. So your journal entry might say something about how you don't really like your job, or you have some guy who's a jerk at work, or you're having some troubles in your personal life that you need to work through. To get those things out on the page and actually, have time to reflect on those things as well and kind of see them from a bit more distance than actually being in the moment, it allows you to see more clearly and find resolutions for those problems. After a while, I found that a lot of the problems that I had started to solve themselves just by the fact that I was paying attention to them and actually trying to find resolutions. The things that you focus on are oftentimes the things that you fix. So if you focus on your problems enough, oftentimes the solutions are just going to appear. So the third thing that I appreciate about writing in a journal as a daily practice is that it allows me to look back on my previous entries from maybe even a year ago and see how I've changed over that time, or see if I'm really doing justice to that person 1 year ago and actually living the life that I wanted for myself. Sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for how much that we've changed, for how much work that we've actually done. To be able to look back to a year before and to see, yeah, I was struggling with all of these problems, and now I'm not struggling with nearly as many anymore. I've actually put in the work over this period of time and I've solved a lot of these things. It's really powerful to be able to actually have that on the page that you can read, that you were in so much turmoil at this time and you've actually solved a lot of these problems. It gives you a chance to take stock, but then also give yourself credit for these things. Conversely, it also may give you a sense that you haven't done justice to this person. Like maybe the person 1 year ago wanted you to get out of debt, and then you've spent the entire year and you haven't really prioritized doing that, and you're still in the same position as you were last year. And that's not a great feeling to have. It's tough to read things like that, but sometimes it can be a really much needed wake up call, and it can just kick you into gear to actually start finding solutions. The fourth thing that I really like about writing in my journal so much is the fact that it's an analog single task, which I feel like so few people are prioritizing nowadays. Our world is getting busier and busier, and to just do the act of sitting down, taking out a pen and putting it to paper and just writing down your thoughts, that's something that most people don't make time for in their day anymore. People can barely sit on the toilet without having to look at their phone and scroll Instagram or do something like that. So to actually be able to sit down and just do one thing continuously, and that's the only thing that you're doing, is powerful in this day and age. I try to make it as analog as I can. I have a fountain pen that I refill with ink every once in a while, and I just kind of make it a special kind of ceremonial thing that I do, a nice ritual that I can do every morning, and I look forward to doing it every day. day. I look forward to getting my ideas out on the page and to just kind of relax and let go of these concerns. And finally, the fifth thing that I've liked so much about journaling every day as a practice for the past year is that it's allowed me to become a lot better at expressing myself because I've spent time reflecting on those things and I just know how to articulate myself a little bit better. When you journal, that's kind of all you're doing is you're expressing your opinions, you're expressing your thoughts, you're getting it down on the page, and you're figuring out ways to articulate yourself better and better over time. It doesn't just have to be between you, the pen, and the paper. That can also have effects in your broader life that you're able to express yourself a lot more clearly than you were prior. I've definitely not had a problem talking through my life, but being concise, I think that is something that I have improved on over the time from journaling. People generally want to know what kind of gear you're using. I'm guilty for this as well. I would say for journaling, it really doesn't matter. Any sort of piece of paper and something to write on it with is really all you need. I have no consistent journal. I know people kind of get moleskins or some sort of set like that, that they can have a set of journals that all look pretty much the same over time. I have not had that, unfortunately. My books are basically just either given to me or I've bought them somewhere. And they basically, I try to find something like a paperback size that's not huge, that I can carry around. It's almost pocketable, but I'm not really picky. It's just something to write my thoughts down on, and any piece of paper will do. What I decided to dial in a little bit more was with the pen. I got this Muji Fountain Pen. This is a very simple, minimalist looking fountain pen. I think you can still buy it today. If you can, I'll put a link for it in the description. It has a universal converter in it that I bought, which basically means that I'm able to easily refill it with ink with kind of a piston that's inside that you can crank to suck ink into it, so I can draw it up into the pen easily and refill it whenever I need to. This fountain pen is great. I've had a couple of fountain pens. I haven't had a lot of experience with them, definitely not with the really high-end stuff, but this one's been awesome for me. It's aluminum, so it holds up pretty well. It has a couple dents here and there, but I'm very happy with it. I've had it for a couple of years now, and it's been great. So I hope you guys found that interesting. Just a few reasons why I've found so much benefit in doing the analog task of putting pen to paper and writing in a journal as a daily practice. Is this something that you're already doing? You're already writing in a journal as a daily practice, or is this something that you'd like to start doing soon? Let me know in the comment section. I'd be happy to hear from you. That's it for today. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 oh, please don't take him just because you can.